Hi scholars, so in this video we are going to be treating a very important aspect of chemistry, and it is known to be water of crystallization. So like we have here now, we are going to be talking about the definition, the examples, hydrated salt and anhydrous salt, as well as calculations involving water of crystallization. Please listen attentively. Alright, and please, if this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please kindly click on the subscribe button. Alright. So, what is water of crystallization? By definition, water of crystallization is known to be the fixed number of water molecules present in one molecule of a salt. Again, by definition, water of crystallization is known to be the fixed number of water molecules present in one molecule of a salt, and this salt is known to be hydrated salt. Are you getting my point now? So let's talk about some examples. So these are some examples of hydrated salt. So for this now, we call it the copper 2 chloride dihydrate because of this two. This is known as what? The copper sulfate. The copper sulfate pentahydrate. Here is the sodium sulfate or sodium tetrasulfate 6 decahydrate. Sodium tricarbonate 4 decahydrate, magnesium tetrasulfate 6 heptahydrate. I believe you understand. So these are just few examples of hydrated salt. So why do we call them hydrated salt? They are known to be hydrated salt because they contain water. Are you getting me now? There is a difference between this now and me having CuSO4. This now do not contain water. This now contains what? It contains water or water of crystallization. Are you getting me now? So this kind of salt is known to be anhydrous salt. This now is known to be what? Anhydrous. Whereas this is known to be hydrated salt. I hope you understand it now. So if I pick this now, there's a difference between Na2SO4.10H2O and Na2SO4. This is hydrated salt, whereas this is what? Anhydrous salt. So the simple difference between hydrated salt and anhydrous salt is that for hydrated, it contains water or it combines with water. Whereas for the anhydrous, it do not contain water. That is just the slight difference between hydrated salt and what? Anhydrous salt. And do not forget, these numbers here now, they are what? They are fixed. I believe you understand. Alright. So let me try to explain further the difference between hydrated salt and anhydrous salt using two concepts. So remember the examples I gave to us earlier. Let me just pick one of the examples. Let's say we have CuSO4, that is the copper sulfate pentahydrate. And please, you need to know that this is also known to be blue vitriol. So now, if I have CuSO4, the anhydrous form now, if this now combines with 5 molecules of water, this is the anhydrous salt now. This is anhydrous salt. If it combines with what? With 5 molecules of water, then we are going to be having what? CuSO4 dot what? 5H2O. So, and this is known to be hydrated what? Hydrated salt. We have the anhydrous form combining with what? With water. Then giving us what? Hydrated salt. So that means for this that it combines with water, that is, it contains water. Do you understand? So now another explanation is this. When we have the hydrated salt being heated, so let me pick another example. Let's say we have Na2SO4, the hydrated form now, 10H2O. The sodium sulfate decahydrate. The sodium sulfate decahydrate. So if this hydrated form is to undergo heating, is to be heated. So what is the essence of heating? To lose water. So if this now loses its water of crystallization, that is, if it loses these 10 molecules of water, we are going to be left with what? Na2SO4. Do not forget, when this now, the hydrated salt, is to undergo heating, is to be heated now, is to undergo heating. While being heated, it loses water. So when it loses its water of crystallization, then what you are going to have left after heating is what? Is the anhydrous form. I hope you understand. And please, you need to know that the phenomenon that talks about a salt, hydrated salt, losing its water of crystallization is known to be efflorescence. So when you have hydrated salt losing its water of crystallization, this phenomenon is known to be what? Efflorescence. So like I said, then hydrated salt losing water, what you have left is what? It is anhydrous. So when you have the anhydrous form combining with water, what you are going to have is what? Is the hydrated salt. I believe you understand. So please, let's move to the calculation aspect now. So the first question here, it says 416 grams of anhydrous BaCl2, that is barium chloride, were obtained when 488 grams of hydrated salt were added. Calculate the value of X in barium chloride dot XH2O. So now, to answer this kind of question, we are told to find X representing what? The water of crystallization. Do you understand? So now, this is the formula you need to take note of. So here's the formula used in calculating water of crystallization. Mass of anhydrous salt divided by the molar mass of anhydrous salt then equals to mass of water lost divided by XH2O. Do you understand? So now let's try to analyze each of these now from the question. The question says that 416 grams of anhydrous. So that means the mass of the anhydrous now is what? 416. Were obtained when 488 grams of hydrated salt. So the mass of what? Of the hydrated salt is 488 grams. So calculate the value of X. So we are given the atomic mass. So now this is what we are going to do. From here now, mass of anhydrous is what now? It is 416. So we have 416 divided by, what is the molar mass of the anhydrous? Remember that the anhydrous is what it is? BaCl2. So we want to get the molar mass. So to get the molar mass, we will give it the atomic mass. So we have BaCl2. What is the atomic mass of barium? It is 137. Then plus that of chlorine is what? It is 35.5. So multiply by 2. Chlorine is 35.5. Multiply by 2, that will give us what? 71. So if you add this together, now you're going to be having what? 208. So that means the molar mass of the anhydrous is 208. I believe you're understanding. All right, so this is 208. All right. So equals to, what is the mass of water lost? Remember we said when we have hydrated salt, if it loses its water of crystallization, what you are going to be having left is what? It is the anhydrous. Are you getting me now? Hydrated salt now losing water. What you have left is what? It is anhydrous. So for us to get the mass of water lost, that will give us the mass of the hydrated minus what? The mass of the anhydrous. Do you understand? Mass of the hydrated minus what? Mass of the anhydrous. So and that will give us what? 488 minus what? 416. And that will give us 72. So we have 72 then divided by. So for this we have XH2O. What does that mean? Find the molar mass of water. That of water is what? That's going to give us 18. Now we are given hydrogen to be 1. 1 times 2, that is 2. Plus oxygen is what? 16. So add this together, we are going to be having what? 18. So 18 multiplied by X. That will give us what? 18x. We are multiplying. Hydrogen is 2. That is 1 times 2, that's 2. Oxygen is what? Is 16. So 18 multiplied by x, that will give us what? 18x. I believe you understand. All right. So we cross multiply 416 multiplied by 18x. So that will give us 7,488x. Then equals to 208 multiplied by 72. And that gives us 14,976. So we are looking for x. Divide both sides by what? 7,488. So x now give us what? 14,976 divided by what? 7,488. And that will give us 2. So the value for x for this now is what? It is 2. So if I want to write this now, I'm going to have what? BaCl2 dot what? Dot 2H2O, which is dihydrate. That is barium chloride dihydrate. But we're told to find x. X is what? It is 2. I believe you understand. So please, let's move to the very last question. So the second question, it says, when 5 grams of a compound Y was heated to a constant mass. So what does that mean? That means compound Y is what we call hydrated salt, because it's been heated. So when it got heated, we are told that 1.8 grams of water vapor was given off. So that means 1.8 represents the water loss. That is the mass of the water lost. Do you understand? So determine the number of molecules of water of crystallization in one molecule of Y, given that the molar mass of the anhydrous form is 160 grams. So remember the formula. So from the formula now, what is the mass of anhydrous? From the question, we are told that 5 grams of a compound Y was heated. And I said that these 5 grams represent what now? The mass of the hydrated. Because it was heated, it contains water. So this 5 here represent what? Mass of the hydrated. So the mass of the hydrated now is what? It is 5 grams. So when it got heated, we are told that 1.8 grams of water vapor was given off. So the mass of water lost is what? Is 1.8 grams. So what does that tell you now? When water now is being lost, what we have left is going to be the mass of the anhydrous. From the explanation I gave earlier, that when you have hydrated salt, losing is water. The kind of salt that we have left is not to be anhydrous. So if this represents the mass of the hydrated, and we are being told that 1.8 grams of mass was what was lost in form of water. So what do we have left? That is the mass of the anhydrous. And that will be done by saying 5 minus what? 1.8, which is 3.2 grams. So that means the mass of the anhydrous is what? 3.2 grams. Do you understand? All right, so let's just input the values. Here we are told that mass of the anhydrous. So mass of the anhydrous is what? It is 3.2 divided by the molar mass of the anhydrous. It is 160. Please, this is meant to be gram per mole. It is 160. So here is 160. Then equals to. So what will be the mass of the water lost? It is what? It is 1.8 grams. So we have 1.8 divided by. So X is true, like we said earlier. Hydrogen is what? 1. The atomic mass is 1. Water is 2, that's 2. So 2 plus 16, that is 18. 18 multiplied by X, that will give us what? 18X. So from what we have here now, so try to get the value for X, and please do well to give me your answer in the comment section. I believe we all have understood everything that has been taught in today's class. Please, if surely you do enjoy the class, do well to like, to share, and also subscribe. Thank you very much.